let's see if we mastered everything that's connected about layers and shapes and how to use them correctly. So in this first assignment, or like one of your 3 final assignments for this module, we have a task to recreate this visual. So when are you going to use things like this in design? Honestly, quite often. You're either going to manipulate shapes for some of the visual elements that you have in your mobile app or website designs, or you're going to be creating simple illustrations or icons, or kind of manipulating some of the resources you find online to make them work more with your product. So if you know how to recreate this visual, it's going to be really easy for you to create awesome headers on websites or some awesome illustrations for maybe empty states in web and mobile applications. Okay, so as we can see in here, there's a lot of things that we need to do. I'm gonna start things off with this yellow shape in here that seems like a little crown, and I'm gonna try to make it the size that I think it might be based on what I see in here is this helpful grid. But if it doesn't end up being that, doesn't matter too much. We don't have to be like pixel perfect with this. It's more about like ensuring that all of the shapes and all of the interesting things that are happening in here, you as a designer know how to do and are going to be able to do when you're going to be tasked with a thing like that. So the first thing I want to do with this crown is I want to add a couple of these dots in here. So I'm in edit mode, and now I need to grab every second point and just drag it down without everything else being selected. So let me just do that. And yeah, we have a crown. Now I'm just gonna color pick it from here, and that looks good. The other thing that I'm noticing are these shapes in here. So I think it's just a square, and that's a lot smaller than that, maybe something like this, that's rotated. So okay, we have a rotation in here. I'm gonna place it somewhere around here. It doesn't have to be pixel perfect, but again, like trying to get as close to what we have in there as possible is going to be good. What we have in here, it's an angular fill, and I'm just going to do it like this and put it to this and make this 0. That feels correct. Now, one thing that I do need to do is maybe try to get it like this, and the final thing will be getting these colors right. So I'm picking the orange one, setting it to 0%, and then I'm grabbing the yellow one and also setting the second one to 0%. Awesome. Okay, the shapes are now done. Let me see, we also have this kind of star shape in here. This is probably going to be something like 15. Okay. And let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm not sure like what's the size of it. It feels a little bit bigger than what I had previously, but this looks good. So I'm just going to place it like that. And I think it's going to be on this one. And let's color it. Okay. Again, seems a little bit bigger. I can probably make it a little bit smaller, but overall, I think we're there. This is going to be an interesting thing to draw, but I'll probably do it last because it's overlapping everything. Well, I can do it now, just because I'm already thinking about it. So yeah, let's make this smaller. Let's remove the fill. Let's add a stroke. The stroke is a little bit bigger, something like this. And it feels like the original one is a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's resize this to 48. Let's duplicate. Let's resize this. Oh, I didn't duplicate it. Duplicate, add 16, duplicate, add 16, duplicate, add 16, and duplicate, add 16. Okay, grab all of them, center it like this. It might need one more level. So I repositioned it, and I'm gonna place it somewhere in here. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it in a group just because I'm gonna have to place other elements in here as well. I think this one is probably a little bit smaller. Okay, and just by grabbing it and pushing it to the top of my workspace, it's already looking a lot closer to what we actually have to achieve. Knowing that I first created the visual on the left by using gates, I'm just trying to kind of figure out where I should position this. And I feel like this one is maybe going like straight in here. Yeah, it could be that, because I also have this to consider. Now I can create this shape either by just duplicating the first one and then also having like a square shape like this and then just subtracting. But I need to have the rectangle below the circle. And now when I use subtract, it's gonna, no, it subtracted the rectangle. Let's try now. Oh, silly me. Let's intersect it. Sorry. Perfect. Let's grab this color. That's awesome. We're already making a lot of progress in here. Let's analyze what's happening in here. So this feels like a really big circle. So I'm just going to expand this and make it a lot bigger. Maybe something like that. Let's position it based on the lines that are suggested to us. So you're kind of always, Figma is always suggesting if two elements can be centered in some way or aligned better. So use that also to advantage as you're designing. So I'm gonna do that. I think it's gonna be even a bit bigger than that. So maybe like this. I don't know if it's perfect or not, but it looks good enough for now. And I also want to make that one the intersect of the two. Perfect. And kind of put it below all of the other items, maybe just above the crown shape that we created. That looks amazing. Let's now flip this, rotate it like this. Again, this isn't the only way that you can do it. There's a lot of other ways that you can play around with shapes, but this is the way that I would do it, seeing what's on the left side. I would grab this, rotate it like this, and place it in here. Honestly, we're almost like pixel perfect with this, so I'm really happy about that. And then I have this circle that's gonna end up living here. And we need to have angular fill for it. The first coloring being this one, the second color being this one. I just want to reposition it like this. And maybe grab this one and kind of add it here. So you can see that in here it feels like this is the exact same shade, and in here it's the exact same shade. So I just moved the color selector here in the gradient part to be more closer to the edge to get the exact effect that we have in here. And the second thing that we have is this kind of box in here. Center back. Okay, it probably is the same size as the one on the top, so I'll just do that. 196 for here. Awesome. It's gonna be yellow, and I just need to bring it above the reference grid, which is locked in here. And I feel like this blue one is also casting a shadow, so I'm gonna create a shadow in here. It seems like a pretty large one, and maybe it's even darker. Okay, maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's more closer to what we have on the left side. Okay, there's not a lot of things left. The only other thing we need to do is create this fun bubbly shape that we have there. I feel like it's using the yellow color that we have in here, and maybe it's set to something like really light. I know that it has a background blur effect, so I'm also adding that one in here like this. And there's another effect that it has, and it's the inner shadow. And inner shadow is going to be like really yellow and really noticeable. Okay, maybe just make it like 60% or something. So yeah, pretty close. I feel like it's probably better to move it somewhere in here. And then what else do we have? We have this interesting shape that's drawn with a pen tool. I feel like I'm gonna do this first and then kind of rotate it a little bit and then make this. And then when I have that shape ready, oh, it's not perfect. It's nowhere close to where I want it to be, but I would just rotate it after that to achieve this kind of curve. So I feel like it's a little bit more structured. Maybe if I start with this and then make this and then kind of round it up with this, it's a little bit better. And then let's rotate it like that. Okay, again, not 100% the same, but it's pretty damn close. And I just need to put it like this. Well, I'll just first scale it a little bit down. So maybe something like this to make it a little bit more relevant to what I already worked with. Okay. And the third one, this one is going to be like 10%. This one is like 50%. Okay. And I feel like the stroke size is also a little bit smaller. But yeah, you can use the pen tool to draw the shape, and the other one is the pretty regular shape. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go to the middle. I'm still holding shift as I'm drawing all of the lines, and I'm gonna go in here, and then I'm gonna go back in the middle, and then I'm gonna go up, and then I'm gonna go down, trying to hit the exact spot, and back, and I'm gonna get this one in here, and now I'm just gonna modify this dot so that it falls in line with this. Awesome. It looks basically perfect, so I'm really happy with how that one turned out. And that's it. There's a lot of decorative shapes, vectors, and effects that were used in here, from shadows to color fills to blur effects to inner shadows to opacities, and different types of elements that you can use in your UI, from rectangles and ovals and stars and so on. And we have ourselves the, well, not exact replica, but really close replica of the reference frame.